All right, students, here's our next video. This one is on the quadratic formula, and it's our fourth way to solve quadratics. So here's the quadratic formula. It's what you're going to see in most formula booklets. It'll be written this way. I really like the alternative way of writing it, which is to separate the fraction. So x equals negative b over 2a plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Notice over here, we really ended up with this. We had our single number and then a plus minus with a square root on top and a fraction in the bottom. So let's look at this. In example 1, or this first example here, our a value is 1, our b value is 3, c is negative 2. It's super important with quadratic formula, don't lose your negative signs. So c is negative 2. And of course the a is a 1. There's an imaginary coefficient there. So x equals negative b divided by 2a plus minus square root b squared. And it's a good habit to use parentheses because if b is negative, you want to make sure that you square the negative. B squared is always positive. Remember, from absolute values, squaring something makes it positive. Plus or minus b squared minus 4 times a times c. Again, not losing my negative. Complete the square root sign all over 2a. Now I'm going to simplify. Negative 3 halves plus minus 9 plus 8, 17 over 2. So those are my two solutions. Oops. And if I want to check this quickly, I'm going to just show you how to do that on the calculator. So over on the calculator, let's quit back to our home screen. I'm going to clear this out. Under apps, you have this app called Polysimult 2. So yours might not be number 4. You might have a lot more apps. Right now, I only have 4 on mine. So I'm going to push the 4 to get to Polysimult 2. You might have to scroll for yours. So polynomial root finder and simultaneous equation solver, press any key. So I want to find the roots. So I'm going to press enter for that. Order is 2 because I have a quadratic. Let me scroll this down so we can see it. I'm looking for the roots. I'm looking for the zeros. I want real answers. I want fractions if possible. I always like that. Here it's not going to be possible though because this is irrational. And so the rest of this I can just leave the same. So I'm going to say next. And now notice that they don't write ABC, they write A2, A1, A0, but it's the same idea as ABC. So I'm going to type those in, 1 and 3, and make sure you use the negative sign, not the minus sign. I'm not using this, I'm using the negative 2. And then I say solve. So I get these 2 decimal answers. Well, if I want to check my answers, I actually like my answers a lot better because those are real numbers. But if I come back over onto my home screen, so to get out of here, I'm going to push main, and then I'm going to quit. So that's number 6. All right, so negative 3 over 2 plus square root, so that's second squared, 17. Make sure and get out of the square root. I've got this arrow telling me to get out of it. So get out of there, divide by 2. And sure enough, that's one of my answers. I can go up and highlight, change my plus to a minus. This time we have to change it to a minus. It's subtraction. It's not a negative number. We're subtracting 17 over root 17 over 2. And I get my second answer. Both of these answers, if I gave them approximately, I would only want 3 significant figures. So negative 3.56 or 0.562. However, we always want you to leave exact values. So this is a nice check, but these are the answers that we want, exact values. All right, I'm going to leave you to try this one on your own, and you should go back and check the answer sheet. Make sure your first step, set it equal to 0.